Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Numerologist Glynis McCants. Let's talk about everything happening. Obviously, we're witnessing stuff here, but it's so much bigger. We're in this month of June. This month of June has been very traumatic for so many. And yes, there has been energy in each day that gives us a message. And I had talked about June 5th, June 13th, June 23rd. And just think about, even if you go to the world stage, so much happened in those dates. Okay, the 14th, if I didn't say that, June 5th, June 14th, and June 23rd. So we dealt with the whole thing that happened between Elon and Trump. That was on social media. That was on the 5th. On the 14th, we dealt with the military parade, but we also dealt with millions of people expressing their opinion about what's happening in the administration. That was the 14th. Then the 23rd was fascinating because, we dealt with the United States getting involved to help Israel when it comes to Iran and bombing some nuclear sites. Potentially, they're going to find out exactly what has happened. We still don't know. This is all so brand new. But that was yesterday, the 23rd. 2 + 3 is 5. So again, the administration said, look, we have a ceasefire, all is well, meaning Iran and Israel willing to work together and do a ceasefire. But then that did not turn out to be the case because Iran says Israel broke it. The point is, nobody who lives on this planet could ever assume it would go smoothly or easily when it comes to the Middle East. That's just, we've all learned this, right? If you look at our history, it's always difficult there. But I do believe the energy of the month has played a role in it because all three of the energies I'm citing was 2, 5, 2. 2 promotes emotion. And when we come from an emotional place, that tends to backfire in some way. But then the 5 also means drama, stuff that you're like, whoa, is this really happening? Certainly we can agree that a lot of that has taken place this month. Now, something coming up, I would suggest you pay attention to the 26th. So 2 + 6 is 8. Then you got the month and day reduced to a 5, the whole date reduced to a 5. That is 5, 8, 5-day energy. Yeah, my eyes will be peeled. I have no idea what it will turn out to be, but I know in your personal life, you can make a decision to not get involved in it. What it means, like 8 energy is, it's just direct. You want to speak your mind. That means you don't stop to consider what you're saying. And sometimes it's too late, right? It causes chaos and a problem. And remember, double 5 doesn't have an issue with that. So again, write that down. Write down the 26th. What would my advice be? Do simple stuff. Do stuff for you. Go shopping, just a little shopping for yourself, or organize the house. Remember, the 6 energy was always about making your home better in some way. It's so important that you do that. And what a great thing to do on that particular day. And then just be aware of how you feel. If someone's annoying you, before you shoot off your mouth and say something that could have repercussions you weren't expecting. As a matter of fact, I could give a great example of it. A dear friend of mine, all her son did, he said something, yes, it was rude, derogatory, but the person took it as such a threat. He ended up being arrested. So that's the kind of energy we're dealing with. Make a note of it. The other thing, write this down. I want you to pay attention to July and August. I have always said 6, 7, 8 in this year, 6, 7, 8. June, July, August are dates to pay attention to. And as we continue doing these live events, I will tell you dates to pay attention to as well. As a matter of fact, just to get your July started, July 1, make a note of that. That actual date's 1, but the month and day is an 8. The whole date's an 8. 818. If I whistle, I usually can. 818. I'm laying way back. I'm not getting involved. The 7 is a whole different energy than 6. We'll talk about it in the newsletter. But I'm telling you, with that 1818, yes, pay attention to that energy. That's not the day I would travel. Would not take a trip that day. I would not go I wouldn't go for a big drive that day. No, I would not. Because 8 energy does promote people not quite paying attention. And the next thing you know, there's an accident. So no, I would do stuff that's, again, at home, go for a walk, go, if you have water, get to the water. The water is so powerful in the month of 7. Everyone can feel it. It has a healing impact on you. And I'm sure you welcome that, right? Okay, so what I had also said, I promised people that we would do some quick reads. I have, as I've said before, let me see if I can grab a banner. That would also be good. Is it this one? Let's take a look at that. Nope. I want to, where's our little subscribe? If you enjoy what I do on this page, yes, of course, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and like it, because then I will continue doing these. And these particular events that I'm doing right now are really about you. You know, it's not me just teaching numerology, it's me helping you with your life. So let's see if we can get Vanessa back on. Hi, Vanessa, you're on.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. Tell us about the weather. Fill us in on what's happening over there.
Well, my the app on my phone is telling me there's lightning in my area, and there is lightning all over the place, and you can hear it, but it's definitely having an impact on the Wi-Fi. So I apologize for that and the delays.
Wonderful. All right. So is someone popping up in our list that you would want me to grab, or just I'll grab them myself?
You go ahead and grab them. Thanks.
Okay. And you keep an eye, Vanny. Keep an eye on everybody there, all right?
Thank you.
Oops. Yes.
It seems that, like last time we were on live, there's many people that are trying to sell their house. So you might want to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Vanessa, because here's a fact. I did create an affirmation that helps people sell their home. You know, when your house isn't selling and you're freaking out going, I can't believe it won't sell. I created an affirmation for one of my clients, and it was hugely successful for her. She did get an offer after not having an offer for over a year. So if you're interested in that, just email Vanessa. You can order it. It's only $16.95. It's not expensive, but it does work. And when you do this affirmation, you do it daily, a full 15 minutes. And if you're really stressed out about that house, double up, triple up. That's the beauty. You know, you can't think a negative thought when you're focused on a positive. So that's a great way to help them. Thanks, Vanessa. Vanessa, I always call her Vanessa. That's her little nickname, as her sister. Well, let's see what this one is, even though I don't see a date of birth. How do you handle a situation where someone keeps pushing past your no and doesn't take it seriously? Affirmation guidance would be of great help. Well, you need to consider who that person is. Like, I don't know, is it your relationship? Is it a friendship? Because I'll tell you, if it's a friendship, it's not a good friend. And you need to reconsider that friendship. What I do is the numbers lady. I look at your birthday and I can give you a sense of how to do that, right? We're all so different. You know, that's where people are ridiculous when they're like, oh, aren't the numbers all the same? Isn't that true about all of us? No, it's not. When I read people, I want those numbers because I can see what's happening and then I can advise you. But with your energy, I will only say this. When you have to say to yourself that no is a complete sentence. So when you say no, and then when I keep going, say, I mean it, and then change the subject. Get out of the subject. There's nothing to debate if you sincerely mean it. If they don't hear you, I also advise you to send them an email. I don't suggest texting because I think texts are so often misinterpreted, but just write them, say, hi, listen, whoever they are. I'll call them Susie. Hi, Susie. You know, we talked the other day and I did say no. And for whatever reason, that wasn't enough for you. And I just need you to honor it. And if it's a friend, we've been friends for blank many years and I love you, but please honor what I say. Thanks. Something like that. Yep. Without knowing the numbers, I know that that still is effective. And if they really continue not to honor you, you have to separate yourself from them, even if it's a family member. Sometimes we have to step back, wish them well, love them, but from afar. You don't have to hang out with someone who doesn't respect what you say and doesn't hear you. All right, let's pop over here. Here's my little Tricia. Now, Tricia, you know, I'm going to be teaching a numerology workshop. So I was going to shoot an email to you. I definitely want to do it this summer. I'm doing something in New York, but I want to do something here in California. And I want it to be a 2-day intense workshop. These are for people who have learned numerology from me, kind of understand the basics, but want to know more and how I do it. So make a note of that, Tricia. All right. So you said, I'm trying to figure out if my husband and I, both a poor life path, should move this year or next year. I'm in a 9 personal year and he's in an 8 personal year. Okay. I would say, obviously 9 is always when we feel like getting out of something, but why not wait for him to get into his next cycle, right? Which would be a 9. And then you'll be in a cycle of 1 and it will be very clear to you, right? You're going to be like, hey, full speed ahead. I've got a brand new 9-year cycle and I'm ready to go. So it doesn't have to be this year. And what's interesting about this question, Tricia, I could have sworn that I answered this question at some point. It's so familiar, unless I really did have other clients that had that double 4 energy and had that question. But that's my advice. I would consider next year just better. Things are shifting right now. People are not clear what's happening. We have so many moving parts. I don't think you hate where you live. So I say just get ready. Start looking. Really think about location. Where do you want to be? And then make sure you run those numbers. Make sure if it's another state, run the state's energy. If it's a new city, new city. The house number, all of it, darn well it matters. And boy, I'll tell you, I have lived this long enough to know, even though you can alter energy, which is great, it's still a temporary solution. I would way rather people move into something that's good for them. Okay? Yes. I'm going to pull Vanessa in on that one. Vanessa.
Yeah.
So going to your home energy, like you absolutely organically picked the number that was correct for you. So that number was what? The numbers on your house.
9. Oh, it's a 9. It's
right. And your life path is
6.
Right. And those are very compatible. What's it like in that house of yours, Vanessa?
Everybody wants to come to my house.
and is it possible that they don't want to leave once they're there?
Well, that's actually possible too. I find people in the basement all the time.
Seriously. But here's why. A house of 9 means all are welcome. You see? Mm-hmm. Again, being this number of completion, it says, come on in. The problem is they may not want to leave. They may not want to leave.
Funny story, Glynis. The house in Celine was a 9 also.
Wow.
And everybody.
Okay, that is interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Remember 999?
And then energy of just the city that you're in is Holland, correct?
Right.
And then Holland, when you break that down, it's a 3. I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah. So Vanessa has scored. I have not. Where I live is not. It is a challenge to me. And Vanessa, I'm sure, would pick that up. As much as I love my house, I love the pool, but the energy is a challenge. And when you have energy that's a natural match or compatible, yay, it becomes not the worry. So with you, your city's a 3. You're in a house of 9 and you're a 6. And 369 is that wonderful blend of numbers. I am organically in a house of 7 that I altered. That's a challenge. And the city's a 4. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. So I'm a little challenged. But I will say what's nice about a house of 7, it promotes study. House of study. I never stop studying. And it's also a house of writing. So, in that way, it's been good. But still, I always want people to move into something great. And that's why I'm telling Tricia. And you were just a great example. Thanks, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so Tricia got that. Answered your question. Let's see. All right. 6, 7, 9. All right, so we got Mitzi. She gave me her birthday. She's in a personal year of 6. And where was her question? Vanessa, can you find Mitzi's question and post it? Because I asked Mitzi for her birthday and I see her birthday. And if you see it, there she is, Mitzi. Okay. Life Path 9, Destiny 2, Twiddly. I am currently working on an intuitive coaching program. I'm in the 3rd cycle of life, trying to determine the direction I want to go. Okay, let's think about that. Interesting. What's interesting, yes, you definitely have it in you to be an intuitive coach. I'm sure it's in your numerology, the 6, the 9. But what you also happen to have, your pinnacle is an 8, and 8 is about having financial security. So, of course, my first question, or what I'd wonder for you, is are you doing well financially? Are you already handled that way? Or are you trying to turn this into something lucrative and successful? Because your pinnacle points to that. So I say you got to pursue it and go for it. Like, I feel like with your numbers, especially the 9, you're already an old soul. You must have a wealth of knowledge that you accumulated through the years. So once you go for this to a new level, you should be very successful. And this is a good year to do it. But yeah, the pinnacle of 8, I would only say because that's your final pinnacle, you definitely want to work on that, the financial side of your life. You should be doing your affirmations, prosperity affirmations daily, and also stay on top of your health, because it is about appearance. How do I feel? How do I look? How do, my back, my neck, my knees, how am I doing? That's my advice to you. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I like your choice. Now, when you say it's third cycle life, I feel like, isn't that your final pinnacle? That's my thought. Okay, it might. I'm going to have to check it now. Because if we go 36 plus 9, well, let's see, plus 9, 45, 54, and then the final pinnacle. Well, bottom line is your final pinnacle will be coming up shortly, right? And it's going to be 8. So just stay on top of that. And what else do I want to say about her? 5, 6, 8. So she says that. Well, we take that. It's a 6. And this is 4, 6, 4. And so right now it's just 1. If you're dealing with 1 energy right before 8, this is just about you using these skills. You must have a natural ability to do this. Okay? That's what I see. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, what's this? Feng Shui recommends you place mirrors around the outside of your house, thus reflecting their energy back on the neighbors. Not sure why Sandra said that. I feel like she's answering someone else's dilemma. Yeah, Sandra, you're going to have to explain that to me. I pulled you up because I thought you were talking to me, but I don't think so. All right. Vanessa wants to say something. What?
She was responding to S. S said,
well, there you go.
Yes. Yeah.
So that means nothing to me. I'd rather she had talked to me about feng shui and then we would discuss it, but that's okay. You know what I always say, in altering name energy or number energy, that is a form of feng shui because it's all vibration. But I do really do appreciate people gifted in the science of feng shui. All right. So it says, yes, I did the right thing. Life path forward. Thank you, Glynis. Birthday numbers are 3. Okay, good. Good. Let's continue. This is cute. Tricia, little Tricia. Yahoo, she says, after we gave her some advice. All right, I'm like this. And I'm going to grab somebody else. Let's see. Be careful. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. Tricia, respond to me about the numerology workshop. Tell me if you're going to be one of my top students on that. Just say, yes, I'm going to do that workshop. I'm curious because you actually were on my mind. That was a really good group of people in the class that you were in. And I plan on reaching out to the majority of you. Okay. What's this? Besides someone who loves to do, are they, what are they called? Emojis. And I'm an emoji person too, Janette. All right. July 21st, what? Been living in the rented home for 32 years. Life finance have now depleted. Okay. Well, you said that your finances have now depleted. Should you stay or should you go? Janette, with what you've said, it seems like you're not in a position to go right now. Well, what would I be doing if I were you? Money affirmation. So which one? Let me think. I welcome infinite abundance and my needs are always met. I welcome infinite abundance and my needs are always met. I welcome infinite abundance and my needs are always met. Now, here's what I'd also do, Janette. I'd say that I welcome infinite abundance and my needs are always met. And then you could throw in the very famous line, all is well in my world. Or, and I'm so grateful. Let's go with that one. Because you need it to come through. You've lived in a rented home 32 years. Sounds like you'd like to move, but you can't. So you're going to do an affirmation to turn that around. I welcome infinite abundance and my needs are always met. So I'd say that like 10 times. And then I'd suddenly go, I welcome infinite abundance and my needs are always met. And I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful. Yeah, the universe will hear that. And something good's going to come from that. No question. Thank you for that. Let's see. Yep. No. I would suggest that they watch the video again to hear that affirmation, Vanessa. They can listen to the show again to hear that affirmation. All right. I'm going through here, guys. Patience is our virtue. What do we got? Oh, let's look at this one. Ready? Keeping it simple. 6/26/1965. All right, so we got an 8 day, 5 attitude, 6 double 8. Ooh, okay. Shelly, Seabiscuit, Boo Boo. I'm very, very sympathetic to you because you're up against it. Why? Because you're born on an 8 day and you're an 8 life path. And you're in a personal year of 5. Well, you already just heard me proceed with caution when I talked about the 26 coming up, which is 5/8/5 energy. So what would I do? One, you got to start affirming really positive information for yourself. You cannot live in the negative. And remember that, I just saw this. I asked Vanessa because I want to give it proper kudos. The wonderful Tony Robbins. Do you dig it, Benny? Do you like his thoughts?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Well, this one was fabulous. And this is for Shelly and everyone listening. He said, when you start out with the words, I am, you own it.
That's correct.
No matter what you say, you own it. And that's pretty horrifying because I can think of times I say something horrible, right? When you're critical of yourself, you go, I am blank. That's not good. So since I read that, Vanessa, it hit me so strongly. I'm just like, the minute I say I am, I'm like, I am fabulous. I am wonderful. Everything's swell, because I realize how true it is. So Shelly, I think like even when you say, will this year get better? Oh, and I should be clear. It can get better. Don't be thinking you're stuck, even though I said there's some tough lessons because you have a 5 attitude, which means that 5 has been a part of you your whole life. But you happen to be in a 5 personal year, which can feel overwhelming. So what would I do? Keep it simple. I'd work on my health. I'd work on the simple finances. What can I do? Even if it's something conservative, maybe buy some new clothes just to get rid of stuff, have a little new vibration. Now, if you're Vanessa, don't get me started.
No, Brenda's family secrets. Family secrets.
No, not this one. Vanessa, she is a minimalist. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, so to be clear, though, I want to be clear on what a minimalist is. So a minimalist is a person. So many people think a minimalist, you have like one sweater, one pair of jeans, blah, blah, blah. That's not what a minimalist is. A minimalist is where you don't find joy in something that you have still, but you're still holding on to it. So I would be a person who would say, I no longer need this. Thank you for serving me. And I donate it. And so, for instance, when I bought this pink top, I already had 2 pink tops in my closet. And so one had to go. So that's what Glynis is going to share with you. I don't have 10 black sweaters. I have a black sweater. So
do you think I have 10 black sweaters or
Glynis has 100? So
Okay.
So, but I do want to, because, people do like our snappy repartee. I would
Yes.
like to say something about Tony Robbins. Okay. So
Okay.
I have spoke to Glynis about affirmations and the I am and the I have, and that when you say either one of them, you are owning them. And I think it's interesting that Glynis didn't remember me saying this, but little old Tony speaks up and Glynis heard him loud and clear. And if we're all paying attention, it's because he's a big man, he's handsome. And so Glynis, of course, is like, oh, what else, Tony? What else is happening?
Not true at all. Here's what I will say. Vanessa said something that we all need to keep in mind. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's true too. However, yes, just saying.
Vanessa is absolutely one to send me stuff. And I, as a sister, my eyes roll to the back of my head, or I take a nap and go, what was that? She's right. Busted. Oh, busted. You got me good. Yeah. Anyway, but that's a good message, Vanessa. It's a great message. Sometimes people can't receive it, but the minute they do, share it. Help others.
But also take to heart what it means, right? So oftentimes people will say, but I'm not that, or I don't have that. And that's the whole point of what we're saying, right? So even if you're not thinking it, you say, I am successful in my business. I am, right? And so you don't have to figure out the how. You just need to put it out in the universe.
So for the I am, and just remember the power of that when you say I am, like, look, come on, let's go to the criticism. I counsel everybody. I'm ugly. I hate myself. I'm a slob. Whatever you come up with, you can't be talking like that. Just catch the I am and say something nice. Say something wonderful. Shift it. Turn it around. Okay? And that's going to be true for our gal that we just talked to, Shelly. So, Shelly, good things are in store because the cycle of 5, something always good happens before the year's end. This is what I have found again and again. Something positive takes place. So hang in there and love yourself more. That is my message to you. And let us know you got the message, Shelly. We look at comments. Oh, that's adorable. Look at this person. Martini shot. How cute is that? Love the money affirmation. I need that too. Yeah, we all do. We do. We have to affirm because as long as we live on a planet that costs money, we got to find ways to have a healthy relationship with money and know that it will flow to us instead of being afraid we don't have enough. Okay, so there you go. But I love that name, Martini Shot. That's adorable. Is Jeffrey Knutson here today, Vanessa? Do we see him? I know we saw Keith, the wonderful Keith. Okay. How about this? Date of birth, Dorothy Russell. I'm wondering if my complimentary man is coming soon in my life. What a darling way to put it. Will we know this man if he walks up and says, hey, you're beautiful. You are lovely. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I found a complimentary man, right? A man who compliments me. What you really mean is, will you meet a man? And in my case, how we would word it, who's a natural match to me? Will I meet a man who has 3 numbers out of 6? We have a soulmate connection. And that's what I want for you, because it doesn't matter. Think about the guys, and I could actually put numbers on this too, but the kind of guy who comes on really strong and he's, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so sexy, I can't get enough of you. Oh my gosh, you're the woman of my dreams. Let's get married. And then a month later, his cell phone's disconnected. I cannot tell you how often I hear these horrible stories. So no, it's bigger than that. Dorothy, what you want is someone who will really get you, that when you have conversations, it's fun. Like, you, in your case, you have 1 in 7. These are the mind numbers. That means if that guy's not smart enough for you, you'd be miserable. You're like, get me out of here. If he's not talking in a way that you appreciate, you can't even tune in. So what I want for you, I'm wondering if you're working on the spiritual side of you. If you're a spiritual person, if you're someone who actually likes to pray or anything like that, then I'd consider going somewhere where you could meet someone like that kind of wonderful guy. I would also be doing affirmations. I have love affirmations. Vanessa knows we're going to be posting all of these. These are going to become audio files. I've already uploaded them. They're going to be it's going to be called sendal.net, but I'm going to put a link inside my newsletter so you guys can access them. And Dorothy, you should do that. It's summertime, right? Summer loving. Start affirming that. You're in a great cycle to begin this. 1 is your personal year. It's going to go for 9 years. Imagine what you could have. 1, 2, 3. These next couple of years, of course, you could have a wonderful love relationship, but you need to be proactive mentally, because if you've attracted bad guys before, good chance you'll attract a bad guy again until your mind believes it's possible to have something healthy. All right. So that's my answer. You're in a cycle to get ready. In the next couple of years, it could all come in for you. Yes, it could. And of course, when this happens, you need to track me down and we'll run those numbers together. Thanks for your question. All right. Okay. Let's see what's going on. You know what I'm noticing? Remember, we always have patterns. So I'm seeing a lot of people born on an 8 day, like the 17th, 1 + 7 is 8. The 26th, 2 + 6 is 8. So we got a lot of 8 energy coming in. Let's see. Let's try. Give me a moment here. I'll go ahead and click on this. Okay. So this is Brenda. Notice that she's born on an 8 day. Just a moment ago, I said to you, 26th, 17th. And here we have someone born on an 8 day. 3, 4, 9. So she's a 9. She has a 3 attitude, born on an 8 day. Would like to buy a house for myself very soon, nearby where I'm at. Where I am? Where I'm at. What would you say, Mom? My mother, this is so cute, Brenda. My mom's hanging with me. She has a master's in English, so she'll always help us with English. But she says you can't say where I'm at. And why is that?
Because it's just not correct.
Okay, but it's where I am. Where I am. Thank you, Mother, who has her master's and also helped me write 3 best-selling books. So she's amazing. So there you go, Brenda. Very soon nearby where I am. Okay. Now, answer to the question. Don't know where you are, do I? I don't know the location. Here's what I want you to do, Brenda. I'm hoping you have my book. Glynis has your number. There's a chapter called Location, Location, Location. That city that you're in, that state that you're in, look that energy up. Make sure it's good for you. Because if you want to move close to where you already are, let's make sure it's positive. When you don't live in a location that is naturally matched or complementary to your energy, it makes your life a lot harder. It just does. And I want your life to be as easy as possible. But if you're saying, is this a good time to make a move? Sure. If you want to, you're in a cycle of 3. But I need you to do your research, do your due diligence. Don't move close by if it's not good energy for you. And by all means, let's go back to your life path. 3, 6, 9, 2 are numbers that approve of you. Okay? For the 9. 3, 6, 9, 2, like Vanessa, okay, side story, true story. She's showing me these pictures of where she lives. I'm like, this isn't even possible. Like, I'm going to admit I was a skeptic. But it was just a magically beautiful place. I'm like, fine, I'm coming. We went there last July, and I was in awe. Everything about it. I must bring her on because she's my testimonial. I'm telling the truth. Vanessa. I could not get over the colors in your house. Couldn't get over the thoughts for the day, no matter where you went. You couldn't be in a bad mood. She had a message for you, no matter where you went. But also you had, even though, is it considered a lake, but it looks like the ocean, right? That's right down your street?
Yeah, those of you from the Midwest, she's talking about Lake Michigan.
Yeah, well, Benny, when I'm not doing a show, I wear a helmet. I have my pink helmet on, so I don't get hurt.
Well, I am fully aware.
Did it not look just like the ocean, or does it not look like the ocean?
Oh, for sure. In fact, most people say the Great Lakes should have a different name because they're massive. Yes.
Well, and here we were born and raised in Seal Beach, California. And I went there. What are you telling me? You are right by the ocean in my mind. And so my point is, going back to the gal who wants to move and thinking to move close to where she is, it may not be a good idea. Right. I want to make sure she makes a good choice. Because boy, wherever we live, you know, especially when you want to just stay there, you want to make sure it's as positive as it can be for you.
Yes, and the vibration of the water is so healing for me. I cannot emphasize it enough.
How about this too? Charlie, who you know is the love of my life, I didn't pick him where we live. No, where I lived added up to a 2 for love, and we found each other and then moved up here because of him. His kids, 2 kids, and it was like they were in school, so he didn't want to relocate, you know, while they were in school. And I was so in love. I'm like, fine, I'll move up there. So there it is. That's how it goes. Thanks.
There was a funny comment for someone. I wish I could find it because I would post it up here for you. But someone said, didn't you bring up the 4 vibration in your newsletter? Which you did. So it was funny because you said, did I already read this person at the beginning?
I really thought I did.
Well, because you did a 4 vibration.
Well, thank you to my little person who brought that up, because I'm like,
I know. Yeah, claps to the person. I wish I could find your comment because I would have posted.
We like the people who read and pay attention. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let's see. Who else? Scrolling down, and then, oh, guys, guess what? I have this little rule with myself because I'm going to continue doing this, and I want you to know this is like a home away from home where you can come to me, and I promise to do it at least every other week. Sometimes I'll do it a little more frequent, but I'm doing it because I want you to know we can talk. And also you can go to my website, numberscity.com. If you ever want to book a private session, I am here for you, whatever's going on with your life. And the website is set up for you to just, it could be about your healing your body. It could be about love. It could be about career. It's all there for you. All right. But I am going to wrap us for now. And I promise I will be back. Like and subscribe so you don't miss these live shows. And thanks for being here today. All right. And Vanessa gets to say goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Sorry about the glitch at the beginning.
Yes. All right. Take good care.